How can you hear without a preacher?
All right. That's right. Beautiful.
11th verse. This is how you hear. And this is the one that's going to minister grace to the hearer.
All right.
What?
And he gave some apostles,
All right.
and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors.
Now wait a minute. So we got all of that. In our church, we got apostles, prophets, evangelists, teachers, deacons, assistant deacons. We got everything. We got evangelists and sisters to evangelists. And we got those that want to be evangelists. We got a church full of saved people, and the children that want to be saved, we got them too, waiting to be saved. So we got everything. But God said He gave some. So every preacher is not of God, and every preacher is not of God cannot administer grace to the hearer. They don't administer things that edify you, because God's anointing should edify you, help you look more like God, create you in holiness. Now, there's nothing wrong with what I said. Why you can't clap? What I said was wrong.
And some pastors and teachers.
Some pastors, some teachers, what?
For the perfecting.
Well, how could that be? We can't nobody be perfect. How does that work like that? What is the scripture talking about? To edify means to perfect you.
That's right.
Just like you go and trim dead leaves off of a rose. That rose can be healthy. That rose can't stay healthy with dead leaves hanging on it.
No.
You cut away that which hinders. Full bloom. Isn't that beautiful? Edify the church. You let the church, this don't look like God. God is not like this. This is not righteousness. Read.
For the work of the ministry.
Now that's they said, oh, we got the Great Commission. The Great Commission to go into all the world. And you can't go into the mind and tell somebody when they're right and wrong. You ain't got but 3 members. You can't tell them what's right. And moreover, you don't know.
All right.
You talking about going out in the world. Who don't know about Jesus? Everybody know about Jesus. It's not knowing about Jesus, it's to know Him. And the scripture says, he that say, I know Him, keepeth not His commandments, you're just a liar. You got some think they know everything. They know a little bit about everything. And that's about it. A little bit about things. They don't know nothing. Going straight to hell. Read.
For the edifying of the body of Christ.
It's for the edifying of the body. But these are the ones that minister grace to those that are hearing. It's edification.
Yes, it is.
What?
Till we all come in the unity
And
of the
listen,
faith.
I'm going to teach this until we all come into the unity
Of the faith.
In other words, know how to do things right.
Yes.
It's righteousness. That's what God is coming for. He's calling for that. That's the fruit God is looking for.
Yes.
So when the situation comes, how do you deal with it? What you going to do? God will know how you going to deal with it.
All right.
Read.
And of the knowledge
What?
of the Son of
It's
God.
about the knowledge of God's Son. In other words, God's Son don't act like that.
Right.
God's Son is not Baptist.
No.
God's Son don't call themselves a sinner saved by grace.
All right.
God's Son say, thanks be God, I was a sinner saved by grace. That's edifying. That's not edifying to say, well, we're all sinners.
No, it's not.
That's not edifying.
No, it's not.
Read.
Unto a perfect man.
Wait a minute. That's edifying that you know we got to go on to perfection.
Yes.
Gain the knowledge of God unto a perfect man. That's where we're going here. And if you don't get that type of teaching, it's corrupt. Because that is the message.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
Unto a perfect man. Isn't that beautiful? What?
To the measure of the stature of the fullness of
Well, see,
Christ.
you know, Christ, Christ didn't do no sin. That's where you got to go.
That's right.
Where you don't do no sin. Christ Christ was holy. That's where we got to go.
That's right.
That's so true.
Well, you know, Christ, there ain't but one man in sin. That's right. That's the man of God. That's where we all got to be, in that man of God. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to Isaiah
Uh-huh.
51 and 70. Let's read that again.
All right.
Because we're talking about those that know righteousness. And if you don't, listen up.
Yes.
What does it say?
Hearken
Hearken.
unto me.
What?
Ye that know
Ye
righteousness.
that know righteousness.
The people
Listen to what is being very descriptive. The people
in whose heart
in whose heart.
is my law.
That's the one that's righteous.
Yes.
Now, let's go to Romans 10 right quick. I know we're going to be closing pretty soon, but if you all want to get more information on this, email us, Google us. Is that what they do? They Google? All right, you contact us. We'll give you more information on this topic. And that ain't what I say and think, it's what the scriptures say. The scripture.
Yes.
Now, it's Romans 10 and 1. What does it say?
Brethren,
Brethren.
my heart's desire.
Now, wait a minute. He said brethren because so many was up under Judaism. In this instant, he was calling them brethren because he was speaking to the Jews.
All right.
Brethren. But as I say again, who is my mother? Who is my brother? Those that do the will of my father. If you're not keeping God's commandments, you really are not my brother. Although I might acknowledge you as a Christian, but you're not a true Christian. If you don't keep God's commandments.
That's right.
Brethren, my heart's desire
And prayer
What?
to God for Israel
What?
is that they might be
That's what he was
saved.
talking about. He was talking with Israel.
Yes.
What?
For I bear them record
What?
that they have a zeal of God.
Now wait a minute. Most of these Christians, they have a zeal. They don't know what they're talking about.
That's so true.
Paul had a zeal. But one thing about Paul, he had some credentials.
Yes.
Most of these people you find talk about God, all they sit around talking about God on the stump with wine. High as a kite, gonna talk about God. Gonna tell you about God. Sitting there and smoking weed all day long. High as a kite, gonna tell you about God. Full of sin.
That's right.
Come on, they've been on a trip. I've been to Venus and back. God showed me something. You in a fantasy world person.
All right. It's very true.
Read.
But not according to knowledge.
Have a zeal of God, but not according to what's written.
That's right.
These churchgoers have a zeal of God, but it's not according to what's written. It's not according to the word. It's not according to the commandment. It's not according to the law. It's not according to God.
All right.
But they get the zeal. You got the zeal. But not according to knowledge. What?
For they being ignorant
They being ignorant.
of God's righteousness
What?
and going about to establish their own righteousness.
How plain is that? They're ignorant of God's righteousness. And most people say, well, you know what? I get my righteousness from the Lord. The Lord is righteousness. He is the word.
Yes.
Deuteronomy 6 and 25. Coming back. What does it say?
All right.
Because the people are ignorant of God's righteousness. When I say people, I'm talking about these churchgoers.
right.
Deuteronomy 6 and 25. What does it
And
say?
it shall.
And now that God is letting you know how to establish His righteousness.
Yes.
He's letting you know the formula. And it shall be
Our righteousness.
our righteousness.
If.
There's your contract there. If. What?
We observe to do all these
Don't just
commandments.
observe it, but to do it.
All right.
I know the Ten Commandments is right. I look at it all the time. I got a plaque in my home. Yeah, around the corner on the desk, a little small desk, about 2 inches high for a leprechaun. And you gotta get a magnifying glass to read it. And then, well, why is it so small? Well, don't worry about this in my heart. If it was in your heart, you'd be keeping it aside, but you'd be holding. Read it.
To do all these commandments
What?
before the Lord